and a very warm welcome to all the participants in the last session of 5 days of ongoing FTP on condition monitoring. Now, in all these 13 sessions, you have been flooded with lots of technical stuff. And before we close this program, it's really a high time to de-stress ourselves. So before we begin with the interesting session on Unplugged to de-stress, I would like to introduce our expert, Dr. Sara Javed is an assistant professor of psychology in Aligarh Muslim University. She is also associated with various organizations for telecounseling services like Students Counseling Center of Aligarh Muslim University, Manodarpan MHRD Telecounseling Program, Speaking Cube, Indian Academy of Health Psychology. She completed her PhD in clinical psychology from Department of Psychiatry, JNMC, Aligarh Muslim University. Her research was on cognitive remediation therapy for schizophrenic and depressive patients. Her interest research areas are cognitive psychology, clinical psychology, positive psychology, health psychology, and personality. She was awarded with Young Scientist Award by AICPERT Inspirational Women Awards 2021 and with the Best Research Paper Award in International Conference on CBT Interventions India 2017 organized by Indian Association of Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, that is IACBT, at AIMS. She has co-authored 2 books entitled Coronavirus Pandemic, Effects, Prevention and Management, and Behavioral Symptoms in Patients with Major Neurocognitive Disorder. She has 15 publications in various prestigious referred national and international journals and has presented 18 papers in various national and international conferences. She was awarded with ICSSR and MANF fellowship during her research tenure. Welcome, ma'am. And it's the time that our participants will relieve the load of all the technical stuffs which they have been flooded with in these 5 days. And you can share your strategies on how to de-stress ourselves.
Assalamu alaikum. Definitely, Dr. Sidra. I will try my level best to de-stress you all. Very good morning to one and all. And thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Sidra, for this generous introduction of mine. Let me just share my screen. Okay, Dr. Sidra, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So, first of all, I would like to extend my gratitude to this entire fraternity of Mechanical Engineering Department for inviting me as a speaker and giving me this opportunity to de-stress the bunch of engineers virtually. I will try my level best to do that. And further, I would also like to congratulate you all I would like to congratulate the department for organizing this ATAL online FTP on machinery condition monitoring. So this is the last session of your FTP, which actually got started on 10th of January, I think so. And I suppose that during this faculty development program, you people must have been talking about ways in which you can improve the health of machines. As far as I can, just being a layperson, because I don't know, I'm not from the stream, this is not my area, but just by going through the brochure provided by you all, I just analyze it and I the conclusion which I derived from it was that, okay, this is something which is concerned with machine condition. And because, the terms which were used in the brochure was like health monitoring of gearboxes, condition monitoring in the industry, they were popping up while I was going through the brochure. So I was like, wow, even engineers are using the terms like health and conditions for machines. So I was quite impressed with this, and it was like they are concerned with the health condition of machine. Like if they are concerned with the health condition of machine, these non-living things, they are concerned with it, then definitely this lecture of mine will be of some use. Because if machine's health is of so importance, it is holding of so importance, then I'm sure your health, human health, is much, much, much more important than that. So if machine conditioning monitoring is required, then definitely human conditions monitoring is also needed. So in this last session of mine, we will be discussing how we can improve our health. Okay, like what are the ways, what are the strategies, what are the way out of it. So I, being a mental health professional, will be more concerned with mental health of you all. But that's not an issue because if you are mentally sound and healthy, if you are mentally up to mark, then you will definitely have some direct positive effect of it on your physical health as well. So if you're mentally sound, then you will be physically, if you're physically sound, then you will be mentally. They go side by side. Both things are equally as important. So as you can see on the screen, the topic which I have given to this lecture is unplug to de-stress. I purposefully selected this term unplug for you people because here I have applied a bit of psychology. I try to play with your mind because I know this term unplug will attract you more as compared to common terminology which we use like stress management हो गया या overcoming stress हो गया या de-stressing हो गया. These are some of the common terms which we people use in our psychology day-to-day life. So I use this term unplug because I thought like unplug, plug, wire, electricity, machines, ये सारी चीजें ना आप लोग के लिए ज़्यादा significance hold करती है. So over here I applied a bit of psychology. So here on the slide you can see a quotation written. The quotation states, almost everything will work again if you unplug it for few minutes, including you. Yes, almost everything. This quotation is by Anna Lemot. He says that everything, like sometimes we have some days in which we are gloomy, we are sad, we are like, what's happening with the purpose of our life? Hopelessness is there, and कुछ meaningful life नहीं लगता है. Especially आजकल, like since the down time this lockdown phase has started, things have changed to a great extent, and you are like कि what's happening in my life, work from home हो गया है, and mothers are, they are more, उनको घर भी manage करना है, बच्चे भी देखने हैं, lectures भी लेने हैं. So same goes for fathers as well. So everyone, they are most, they are very stressed out these days. They are like they are things are beyond their control. So what you need to understand is that everything will get back to normal. So if it is not normal now, right now, that's not the end. End is to come. So everything will get back to normal. What you need to do is you need to unplug yourself from those abnormal things, I will say rather. So how you will unplug yourself? I will be telling you. I will be telling you certain techniques you can use, certain way outs you can use, certain strategies you can use in order to get out yourself, in order to pull yourself back to the normal thing. So in this presentation, in this 2 hours lecture of mine, I will be talking about all of this. I will be talking about like what stress is, what is the concept of stress, what is the mechanism, mechanism खाली machine में नहीं होता है, humans में भी होता है. So what is the mechanism? What is the thing which is going on in human body because of stress? क्या कौन सा भैया हार्मोन सिक्रीट हो रहा है, कौन सा न्यूरो हमारा organ affect हो रहा है, ये सारी चीजें we will be studying about. Like what's the mechanism which is there, what is just being because of which stress is happening, and how it is adversely affecting us, and how we can basically, and yes, we will also be talking about good stress. You will come to know that stress is not always bad, there is something good behind it also. Then we will be talking about the symptoms, like how we can recognize that a person is having stress. This thing we'll be discussing in the four broad areas, that is cognitive, behavioral, physical, and emotional. And then finally, we'll be coming to how to manage it, how to recognize the sources of stress, and how to unplug yourself from those sources. Some of the best practices will be told by me to you, which you can use in your day to day life. Finally, in the end of the session, I will be playing a audio which will help you to relax yourself. You just need to put on your earplugs and you just need to listen to that audio. So it will help you to relax yourself. Okay, that will be a relaxation therapy which I'll be giving you. So, what's the ultimate end of every person who has come on this earth? Like, this is a question. Like, what's the ultimate end? I don't think so. It's an interactive session, so I will only answer my questions. So the ultimate end of the person who arrives on this earth is death. We all know this thing. We all know that whoever has come on this planet will die one or the other day. So death is something which is inevitable phenomena, right? It will occur for sure. 100% honi hai. It's a natural part of life. It's within, it's, it will happen. You cannot escape it. You cannot get rid of it. You don't have so much of power. या आपके पास कुछ ऐसी चीज नहीं है कि आप पी लें, या साइंस भी इतनी एडवांस नहीं हुई है अभी कि वो, and I don't think so कभी भी हो पाएगी कि वो डेथ को रोक पाए. So death is something which is an inevitable phenomena. And in fact, in a holy scripture, it is also written that every soul shall have a taste of death. Every soul. Every person who, every soul जो ऊपर से नीचे भेजी गई है, उसको death का मजा चखना ही है. That soul will have a taste of death. So we cannot avoid it, right? We cannot avoid death. That's a, if we say कि भाई कुछ ऐसा कर दीजिए, मैम कुछ मुझे ऐसी टिप्स बता दीजिए कि हमारी death ना आए. No, I cannot give you such type of tips. We cannot avoid it. The question is like how you are dying. What is the cause of it? Is it natural or is it accidental? Or is it due to some disease or infection? These things are of concern. These are the things which are of concern. मरना तो सबको ही है, पर भाई वो कैसे मर रहा है? How the person is dying? How the death is coming? That is of concern. If it is a natural death, ठीक है, we cannot escape it. But you need, if you are having certain type of physical illness, or is it accidental, or any type of infection is there, that things become a bit of more difficult for people to accept it. It becomes more difficult for people to accept, and if the acceptance is not there, that may ultimately lead to certain type of problems, other problems. So you can see this is a graph which shows world leading causes of death. And this graphical presentation, it is in form of timeline. You can see the black part is the black portion, it is representing the year 2000, and the red portion, that is being represented by the year 2019. So this is not my personal observation. This survey was done by WHO. So I just want you people to realize that 7 of the top most leading causes of death is related to stress. You can see the top these causes of death are, it's heart diseases, it's stroke, it's COPD, it's lower respiratory infection, it's neonatal condition, it's trachea or bronchitis or lung cancer, it's Alzheimer's or other types of dementia or diarrheal diseases. And there is a long list. I've just put the few of them, the top one over here. So I just want you to know that 7 of the most leading causes of death is due to stress. So yeah, it's 7. You know, it's a big number. 7 should start cause diseases ऐसी हैं जिनका वजह आपकी stress है. So now you must be wondering, like the graph shows heart diseases, it shows stroke, it shows coronary obstructive pulmonary diseases, it shows cancer, Alzheimer, etc. So how can they be related to stress? So now let me tell you, if your doctor say, or if your doctor is concerned with your blood pressure, if he's like you are having BP issues, then you may wonder, like, is it related to stress? Then the answer to it is yes, it is related to stress. If you are constantly eliciting the stress response, you know, you're constantly being bombarded with the stress, or you're constantly being feeling the stress, and the cortisol is being washed through your body through veins and arteries, what ultimately it happens? They ultimately, you know, your veins and arteries, they start becoming stiff because cortisol is continuously being washed through this. And this stiffness of veins and arteries compels your heart to work a bit harder. It compels your heart to work a bit harder. It, you know, your heart, it need to pump the blood through the stiff arteries. अगर arteries आपकी stiff नहीं है, उसके through आपका blood flow हो रहा है, तो आपके heart को कम pressure लगाना पड़ेगा. But because of the stiffness, the heart, you know, it need to pump the blood through the stiff arteries, and this rigorous pumping of your heart, and this heart pumping of your heart basically increases your blood pressure, which is one of the major cause of various heart diseases. And this heart attack or other types of heart diseases is the number one reason of death for both males and females. It's not only for male or it's for female. Yeah, male are more, the prevalence of heart attacks is more in males, but it is it's number one reason of death for both male and female. You must be witnessing this, especially in winters, because हर दूसरी death जो winters में होती है, if you ask them what was the reason, it will be like it was because of an heart attack, because our blood pressure increases. You know, it's difficult to get a bit hold of it in winter. So heart attack is one of the major causes of death, and stress is one of the major reason of heart attack. Further, you may say, ma'am, my doctor say that my cholesterol level has increased, and it's exceeding the normal biomarkers. The report which I'm getting, it's exceeding that normal biomarkers. So how is it related to stress? So again, the answer to it is yes, it is directly related to stress. See, when you're stressed out, and you know, this stress hormone called cortisol, this is constantly being washed through your body. Then what happens? It creates little injury pockets throughout your body. It will create a bit pockets, छोटे छोटे pockets आपकी body में बना देता है. And these pockets, they become residing place for cholesterol, or the space where cholesterol can hang on to. So instead of being washed away through a normal process, like being washed away through the normal phenomena where the cholesterol level is not that high, it start accumulating in these injury pockets. And they basically become the sites where cholesterol can come and deposit themselves. And this ultimately leads to increase in the cholesterol level, which is again due to stress. Further, you may say, as you are seeing the Alzheimer disease or dementia, it is there also in the list, and it's one of the genetic disease. So, in which it's a very common disease now. Or in this disease, what happened? Memory loss is there, especially the short-term memory. People start forgetting things. Especially the recent short-term memory, but the recent events are not remembered by the people. It is especially witnessed in geriatric population, and you see that they start forgetting the things. Though the long-term memory is intact, यानी कि जो उनकी पुरानी याददाश्त होगी वो रहती है, but जो current याददाश्त होती है, they start losing it. They start forgetting the stuff. So basically, this Because of this as this short-term memory is being affected, again the reason why Alzheimer's and other dementias are taking place is again stress, because again the cortisol level is being continuously being washed through the brain path, and this is adversely affecting your brain. So you see how dangerous this term stress actually is. How dangerous this. I'm saying stress, stress, stress. You must be wondering, like I haven't talked about what stress actually is, and I'm bragging here. Stress से ये हो रहा है, stress से वो हो रहा है. So now let me quickly tell you what stress is. Stress is a psychological and physiological imbalance caused to demanding circumstances where individual's ability to meet those needs. When the demanding circumstances and the individual ability to meet those needs are basically not balanced, when like you may encounter I can with an example I can explain this thing. There are two people, both of them encounter a similar stressful situation, okay, but the same situation may be regarded as stressful for some people and not stressful for the other people. So you may wonder why. Why? The answer to it is because the person who encounters that situation, if he thinks that this situation is exceeding my resources, it is exceeding my abilities, it is exceeding my coping skills, then ultimately he will feel stress. The stress level will be felt by him. But if you have this different notion, like it's not increasing my stress, like it's something which I can easily deal with, and I have previously encountered a similar situation, so it's a part of life. It's a challenge. I will ultimately get out of it. So these positive statements may help a person in not experiencing the stress. But if you think in the opposite direction, then definitely the level of stress will be there, or stress will be felt by the person. So stress, it basically it's a subjective experience, I will say. As I gave you the example, like one situation will be stressful for one another, and the same situation may not be stressful for the other one. So it depends. It depends whether the demanding circumstances they are exceeding your abilities or they are not exceeding your abilities. If they are exceeding your abilities, then it will be stress. If it is not exceeding your abilities, then it may not be regarding as stress. So stress is basically a phenomena which is prevalent throughout the globe. It's not that it's present only in Eastern countries or only in Western countries or is experienced by only poor people and not by the rich people. No, that's not the case. It is a phenomena which can be experienced or which is experienced throughout the globe. हर जगह पूरी दुनिया में आपको हर जगह ये एक्सपीरियंस करने को मिलेगा. You know what's the good part of this slide? That India is fortunately landing on the 14th number. These are the most stressful countries. This was again a survey which was done by WHO, and India is around on the 14th number. And though it does not mean कि it's something good, but still better, like सबसे top पर नहीं है, it's there on the 14th number, so we should always look at the positive side. This basically here we see that South Africa is second on the list, and South Africa is the country which has witnessed maximum number of suicide, and there are many reasons for it also. uh, uh, you know People are unemployed there, poverty is also there, but again I'll say that we will not stick like poverty and unemployment is solely associated with stress. I'm just telling you like what can be the reasons why South Africa witnessed maximum number of suicide. uh, but there are many reasons, and but still like if maximum number of suicide ho rahi hai, we actually don't know, like because at times it becomes a bit confusing, like why a person committed suicide. we keep on pondering like why he died, what compelled him to die. Like if you can take an example of Sushant Singh Rajput, we what we felt while seeing his movies, we thought that his graph is going high, उसका graph कितना ऊपर जा रहा था, टीवी इंडस्ट्री से वो फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में आ गया, उसके बाद अच्छे अच्छे प्रोजेक्ट्स उसको मिलने लगे. He was there. He was basically financially, as far as we, the social media ने जैसे उसे portray करा, we thought that there are no problems in his life because he appeared a normal person. But what was there behind the mask? We never knew. Right? We never knew like what was there, like why he ended his life in suicide. But still, it's a mystery whether it was a suicide or a murder. But this is the case. Like आपको इंसान सामने से normal दिख रहा होगा, थोड़े दिन बाद आपको पता चलेगा कि उस person ने suicide commit कर लिया. So what's going out, what's there in his mind, क्या सोच रहा है, क्या उसके दिमाग में चल रहा है, you people, it becomes a bit difficult for a normal person to understand until unless he come and went out the stuff in front of you, which people usually avoid because of fear of being mocking by the peers, of fear of being, they think it's a type of a stigma or it's a type of a taboo if I will go and tell my mental conditions in front of others. Leaves aside, take an example of Siddharth Shukla. Why I'm taking examples of these celebrities, because they were quite in talk recently, and we are much more known to them. So, if you take an example of Siddharth Shukla, he was a young 40 years old guy who was a fitness freak person, and who apparently appeared to be so happy. He was having his mother beside him, his girl was beside him, everything. There was no monetary issues, there was no financial crisis. इतना अच्छा घर, सारी चीजें थी. But what happened? He ended up with a heart attack. Why such things are happening, why people are, suicide rate is increasing, or why stress level is increasing, or why such things are, such mental health issues are increasing. All of these questions are needed to be answered, and they are of big concern. And at times it becomes a bit difficult for a common person to understand it. That is why mental health professionals are there. Mental health professionals are there to basically help you out, to help you. You should reach out to them. You should not try to come to the judgment on your own. And yes, thanks to COVID-19, you can see in the graphical presentation over here that the stress level has dramatically increased since 2006 to 2020. Leave 2006 to 2020, you can see the change in the stress level from 2019 to 20. There was 5% increase in the stress level. This was again a study which was conducted by Gallup World Poll, and they reported that there was a drastic increase in the stress level from 2019 to 2020. That was 5%, which is big number in terms of stress. So, and yes, the situation is still the same. First it was Corona, then came Delta, now Omicron. And this virus has compromised the mental health of people to a great extent. Because, for people, this is something novel. This is a novel situation. They are not, they are actually scared. They are not aware of how to tackle the situation, because this is new for them. They think that they don't have that proper resources to overcome it. That is why it is becoming stress. That is why it is leading to stress. Various studies are published in very reputed journals which report that mental health is at great risk. Like I am associated with telling counseling services. Mano Darpan is basically it is an initiative which was taken by Ministry of Education during this COVID times. And what they did, they provided telecounseling services to students or to parents or to teachers as well. So I used to, different time slots were given to counselors. I was allotted time slot of 4 to 8. And Trust me, I used to get calls since morning till night, and this 4 to 8 hours wala to time मेरे लिए इतना stressful हो जाता था, because as soon as I used to cut down the phone, another phone was there, like, ma'am, I'm not able to tackle this situation, like how to get out of it. Anxiety issues were there, academic issues were there. They were unable to face this, virtual world. They were unable to get used to this online teaching. Some teachers were not that techno savvy. It became difficult for them. Parents were worried. Frontline workers, they were so much in a stressful situation. Like, I've done a study. It's a longitudinal study. So I saw that how basically first wave and second wave, and now I'll be going for the third wave also, like how the stress level, what was the pattern of stress among the frontline health workers. So it was seen that the first wave में stress level बहुत ज़्यादा था as compared to the second wave, and now I don't know what will be the result of the third wave. Maybe it was because they got accustomed to it. Like, when we are continuously bombarded with this stressful situation, so at time we get used to it. We because we develop certain skills which will help us to get out of it. So I'm not here to scare you people. I'm here just to tell you, like, what mechanism leads to stress. So you can see, I call it as a cortisol game. And this is HPA axis, that is hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. So this is how basically what happens in our body when we encounter a stressful situation. Like, if a person perceives stress, this leads to activation of hypothalamus, which further releases CRH, or corticotrophin releasing hormone, and this CRH is released which is released due to activation of hypothalamus, further triggers pituitary gland. And this triggering of pituitary gland, it releases ACTH, that is adrenocorticotropic hormone. And ACTH further travels with the help of blood. With the help of blood, it travels from pituitary gland to adrenal gland, which further leads to secretion of cortisol. And this cortisol, you must have been hearing previously, I was using this term cortisol. Cortisol is basically responsible for stress. Like, there is an increased level of cortisol in our body, then that thing will result in stress. So let me tell you, a normal increase in cortisol is okay, because this is a mechanism कि ऐसे ही stress हो रहा है, hypothalamus activate हो रहा है, CRH secrete हो रहा है, फिर pituitary gland से ACTH हो रहा है, फिर adrenal gland से cortisol हो रहा है, जो कि वापस हमारा pituitary gland में जा रहा है. But if this cortisol level keeps on increasing, if we are continuously being bombarded by the stress, if we are continuously being exposed, and we are unable to if we are not effectively utilizing our resources, and we are not effectively dealing with the stressful situation, then basically this cortisol level will increase to such an extent which can become problematic to us, which will basically lead to problem. So this you must be wondering, like, how it will lead to problem. What will happen if cortisol level will increase? It's going to adversely affect each and every organ. You can see so many organs are at risk because of increase in cortisol level. Your blood pressure will increase, your immune system will be suppressed, there will be counteracts on your insulin, your fertility will be affected, there will be increase in sodium water retention, which will affect your kidney, there will be decrease in amino acid uptake, there will be reduction in bone formation, it will basically aid in the metabolism of fat. It may lead to obesity. It may basically stimulate glucose or glucogen turnover. Your circadian rhythm will be affected. Your sleep will be affected. So you see, so many organs are at risk. Just have a look. This chart basically tells you, like, if cortisol is not in a normal proportion, then that is a big thing. That will adversely affect your health. You are compromising your health because of it. Well, again, I will say I'm not here to scare you to death. I just want to point out. So basically, like what are the negative consequences of stress? But yes, there is something positive of it also. Like stress is a normal part of human existence, right? It's a normal. Every person experience stress, and it is necessary. अगर stress नहीं होगा, motivation नहीं होगा. अगर stress नहीं होगा, you will not be motivated to involve yourself in any other activity. So it's a normal part of human existence. And stress is also of two types: eustress and bad stress. So eustress, which is called as good stress, and bad distress, which or stress, which is called as bad stress. So what is eustress? Eustress or good stress is like it's a type of stress you feel when you're excited, like you got a new job, or it's your first date, or you're getting married, or something exciting is happening in your life. Then you will be, a bit of stress will be there. You all must have experienced it. जैसे एक स्ट्रेस सा होता है ना कि नई जॉब है भाई, नया एडमिशन हुआ है, बच्चों में होता है, नई क्लास में प्रमोशन हुआ है, एक थोड़ा सा स्ट्रेस रहता है. So this is you stress. Now what are the ways you can recognize it? Your pulse quicken up, and your basically you there in this use stress, there is no threat of fear. It's just like a bit of excitement is there. You will see a bit of tension is also there. So good stress is short term, and it inspire and motivate you. It focuses your energy and enhances your performance. So this is something good of stress. Like every person, it's a type of a defense which people use in order to get out of a situation. It will help you in getting out of a situation. Like for example, घर में शादी है किसी की, ठीक है, तो दिस मैरिज जो एक पूरा ये जो सर्मनी होती है, वो एक स्ट्रेसफुल सिचुएशन होती है. एवरीवन इज स्ट्रेस्ड आउट, लाइक काम करना है. अगर वो स्ट्रेसफुल नहीं सिचुएशन होगा, इफ द स्ट्रेस इज नॉट देयर, यू विल नॉट बी मोटिवेटेड टू वर्क, right? So bit of stress is necessary. You must have basically heard this saying, and I actually like it also, that Indian minds work under pressure. Yes, definitely Indian mind work under pressure. I've seen my students, they submit the assignment जब deadline आ जाती है, एकदम लास्ट में assignment जमा कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि ना लास्ट में उनके ऊपर pressure हो जाता है, तब काम जल्दी अच्छे से होता है. So this is a bit of stress is necessary. In fact, Skinner, he was a very famous behaviorist, and he has done a lot of work in the field of psychology. He is regarded as father of behavioral school of thought also. He did an experiment. So what he did, he created a stress-free box, and in that box, he provided every facility. Every facility was there, food was there, water was there, comfort was there, partner was also there. Every facility, that was a stress-free box, and he kept some chimpanzees in those box. But the result shows that the chimpanzees ended up dying. The lifespan was comparatively less in a stress-free box as compared to those chimpanzees, those who were kept in a stress box where stress was there. So a little stress is necessary for survival. It's very necessary for survival. It's a part and parcel of your life. But when it goes beyond certain level, it becomes problematic for you. Then it starts with, it is bad stress. So bad stress, it's the kind that wears you out. It leaves you jittery, and it's harmful to your health. It leads to anxiety, confusion, poor concentration, decreased performance, and it can cause headache, insomnia, weight gain, various anxiety, and various health issues. So basically, you should know that yes, stress is a normal part of human existence, but to a certain extent. When it is crossing that line, then it is not normal. Then that is of concern. So how you will know, like this, you are suffering from any stress or not? How you will realize this thing? Because at time people say, no ma'am, I don't have any issue, my life is like when my client come and when I try to explore the areas, they are like, no ma'am, I don't have any issues, कुछ problem नहीं है, but further but मेरे सर में दर्द रह रहा है, पर मेरे इसमें यहाँ पे पेट में दर्द रह रहा है, पर मेरे ये हो रहा है, but no physiological basic causes being found out. So when I further do try to explore, then I see, okay, there are certain causes, there are certain stressful situations जो कि है उनके life में. So symptoms of stress are broadly classified under four areas. They are cognitive, emotional, behavioral, and physical. So these are the four areas which under which you can see the symptoms, under which the symptoms of stress are basically divided. See, the first one is cognitive symptom. So cognitive symptom, when we say cognitive something which is related to our cognitive, like cognitive mind, हमारी thinking abilities, हमारी memory की ability, हम कैसे चीज़ों को solve कर रहे हैं, problem solving हो गई, so all our IQ, all of these things come under our cognition. So cognitive symptoms, what will be the cognitive symptoms of stress? Like whenever a person is stressed, he will show certain memory problems. You must have encountered people who say कि भाई मुझे चीजें याद नहीं रहती हैं, मैं भूल जाता हूँ, मैंने अभी यहाँ से सामान उठाया, पता नहीं कहाँ रख दिया. This is a very common thing which every now and then we hear people saying, and especially the youngsters. You know, memory problem, there is a disease, the Alzheimer's and dementia, that is a disease for memory impairment, but that usually occur after 60 years. That usually occur in geriatric population until and unless आप में कोई brain injury या कोई brain tumor या कुछ ऐसी problem ना रही हो. So memory problem is one of the major symptoms of stress. In stress, what happens? Our attention is diverted in our in whenever when we are in a stressful situation, we are unable to basically pay attention to a specific task. We are always diverted here and there, and this thing basically leads to memory problem, because अगर हमने किसी memory का पूरा एक like there are certain stages of memory. I cannot explain you over here in this lecture. Basically it's like sensory memory. When the information comes, it goes in sensory memory, then it goes in short-term memory, then it goes in long-term memory. And what are the process through which the information travels from sensory memory to long-term memory? It's a long process, and because of rehearsal, retention, certain things need to take place until it will reach the long-term memory. अब अभी क्या हो रहा है स्ट्रेस में, हम लोग इंफॉर्मेशन हमारी सेंसरी मेमोरी में तो आ जा रही है, बट वी आर अनेबल टू मूव दैट इंफॉर्मेशन टू अ शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी. We are just superficially getting knowledge of certain things. We are not basically paying proper attention to it as needed to actually transfer the information from short term memory to long term memory, and because of which memory issues are recurrent. We have another cognitive symptoms, inability to concentrate. Like, it's a very common thing which especially my students report. And yes, I agree to this thing that it's humanly not possible for a student or for anyone to give attention to a lecture for of 2 hours or of 55 minutes also. Like हम लोग के जो classes के lecture होते हैं वो तो 55 minutes के ही होते हैं. So I mean, I agree to it that a person cannot complete, it cannot be, his concentration will not be there for the span of 55 minutes. पूरे time नहीं रह सकता है. I agree to it. बीच बीच में टूटेगा फिर वापस आएगा. But nowadays a common problem which I have been noticing is that attention आपका 5-10 मिनट के लिए भी नहीं हो पा रहा है. The ability to concentrate has decreased so much that they won't be able to concentrate on a particular thing for 10 minutes also, for 15 minutes also. और उनका attention कहीं और चला जाएगा, उनका concentration कहीं और चला जाएगा. So this is another cognitive symptom which is occurring because of stress. Next, we have continuous worry. We will be like always in a state of worry. We'll never be satisfied. We'll always be thinking like what we'll be pondering on our past, we'll be thinking about our future, we will be like, what will happen if this will happen or if that will happen. And so this continuous worry, and this is quite noticeable by the person's face itself, or it will be noticeable by the person's action or body language. अब उस चीज को देख के पहचान सकते हो कि भाई हाँ, होता नहीं, कुछ लोगों को कहते हैं कि भाई पूरे टाइम तुम चेहरे पे 12 क्यों बजे रहते हैं. So this is a sign of stress. This, they are in the continuous state of worry. There will be racing thoughts. एक thought आया, फौरन दूसरा आया, then the third one, then the fourth one. Continuously the thoughts will be coming in your mind. They'll be going, coming, going, coming, going. So you won't be able to stop them. There will be a cycle of thoughts. After one thought, second will follow. After second, third will follow. So you won't be able to stop yourself from these racing thoughts. So these are some of the cognitive symptoms of stress. Next, we have few of the emotional symptoms of stress. Yes, when we talk about emotions, it's like how we are feeling. What are our emotions? How we are basically how we are experiencing what are the feelings which you are experiencing in a particular situation. And in stressful situation, I have seen my clients, they are always feeling down. Like they'll be low, they will be less energetic, they will be always, in a state, a gloomy mind will be there. You can, at times you can see teary eyes also. आप देख सकते हैं, you while doing a bit of conversation with them, you will feel that the feeling of overwhelm is there. They will start crying on small issues, or they will show the aggression level will be more in them. They will be unable to relax. They will be, the आप एक देखिए बेचैनी सी रहती है. So these are the emotional symptoms. Like you are not emotionally sound. You find yourself a bit down all in most of the days, or at times the opposite side is the aggression level increases in a person. So these are the emotional symptoms of stress. Then we have behavioral symptoms. In behavioral symptoms, you may notice certain nervous habits, like a person may be biting his nail, or he may be, there may be certain like sweaty hands will be there, or you can see he may be wandering from one place to another place. So these are certain nervous habits. अगर एक बार खड़ा भी है तो वो सीधे नहीं खड़ा हो. You will see him fidgeting all the times. So this is stress is also reflected in your behavior. You can see and analyze it. Okay, the person, just by having a look at it, you can come to a conclusion. Yes, the person is experiencing stress. There will be increase or decrease in appetite. Some people have the tendency to increase their appetite. उनकी भूख भर जाती है stressful situation. And on the other hand, some people, their diet decreases. So there may be increase and decrease in the appetite level. They may start eating more, or they may decrease, or they may start eating less. There may be excessive use of alcohol, cigarettes, or drugs. They may indulge themselves in certain inappropriate ways, like they may start taking alcohol, or they may start smoking more. एक दो cigarette लेते थे, stressful situation. आपने सुना होगा. Like I often ask my this thing clients, like why cigarette? What you get from taking cigarettes? So they are like कि मैम वो tension कम करता है. So how it decreases tension, I myself don't know. But this is studies have proven that yes, cigarettes is something which increases, the number of cigarettes increases as the stress level increases. Why drugs usage is increasing डे बाय डे? क्यों इतने ज्यादा ड्रग्स का यूजेज बढ़ता जा रहा है? टीनेज क्यों इन्वॉल्व होता जा रहा है इतना ड्रग्स में? दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ इंक्रीज इन द लेवल ऑफ स्ट्रेस. You can also see difficulty or irregular sleeping. There is loss of sleep in people, and you can notice this by in three form. Like some people, some of my clients, they complain like when they go to bed, they cannot sleep for around 1 or 2 hours. इधर करवट बदलते रहते, फिर नींद आती है. Some of my clients say कि बीच में आँख उनकी खुल जाती है, बहुत बेचैनी होती है, फिर नींद आती है. Some of the clients say कि they get up very early in the morning, or basically the whole night they were restless. So this is difficulty or irregular sleeping. These are of the behavioral symptoms. Further, we have certain physical symptoms. So you in physical symptoms, you can say there is excessive perspiration, there is chest pain, or there is elevated heart, or there is nausea or dizziness or headache, or there is frequent colds and illness. These are some of the physical symptoms. Yes, it's not like कि stress से कुछ हमारा physical नहीं हो रहा. Like I told you, mental health and physical health, they have a direct positive relationship. एक अच्छा है तो दूसरा अच्छा है, एक बुरा है तो दूसरा बुरा है. So in physical, nowadays you must have often heard people complaining of back pain. So stress is another reason of back pain. Chest pain is there, a feeling of nausea, dizziness, headache is there, a frequent chills of coldness, or frequent getting ill, weak immune systems. All of these things come under physical symptoms of stress. You can see in this slide, I've just tried to show that yes, stress, if we want to say like what are the symptoms of stress, you can see, you can just simply tell that it's the loss of sleep, it's the back pain, it's the chest pain, it's the feeling of fatigue, and migraine. Migraine is such a common problem nowadays. Every third person, especially I think as the screen time has increased, the problem of migraine has also increased. So migraine is another issue. We have a weak immune system. This is another issue. So all of these things can collectively be regarded as symptoms of stress. Now the question arises, okay, these are the symptoms of stress. Now what are the sources? From where they are coming? क्या ऐसा हो रहा है जिसकी वजह से stress आ रहा है? So until unless we will not recognize the sources of stress, how we will unplug ourselves from these sources? So in order to know what are the sources of stress, see, when we say stress, then stress is something I told you even happy people will experience. Like I said, eustress. So eustress is something where the happy events they lead to such the stress caused because of happy events that are eustress. So when eustress also, when it exceeds a certain time, you know, when it goes unaddressed for a long period of time, then it can become so stress. It is the thing which basically need to be which basically need to be addressed, and it basically triggers mental and physical health issues. So some of the common sources are like there are certain life changes in your life. For example, if you are leaving your home, like नया घर खरीदा है, you are shifting from one place, you are shifting to another place, you are leaving your home. So this is also a source of stress. You know, people may think भाई नया घर ले रहे हैं तो excitement हो गया. This is a type of use stress also, but you know it's a big a life change. It's a big thing. You need to shift all of your stuff, and some people they are so emotionally attached with their house. You know, especially the oldies, they are like, I built this house by myself. They are so emotionally attached with it that when they leave the house, when they leave their home, it becomes stressful for them. When a person is getting married, that is a very stressful situation. Getting married, you don't know how your partner will be, especially for not only for females. I'll be wrong if I say it's only for females, for both. For female, it's like I'm going in a new house, completely new environment, new people, new space. I'm losing my bed, I'm losing my room, I'm losing my family when I'm going to the other place. And same goes for the boys. Males are like, God, I need to share my bed with someone else. I need to share my room, my almirah, my privacy. What will happen now? So getting married itself is a big source of stress. Having children, again, a drastic change in your role will be there once you become a mother or father. उससे पहले life is very easy, very easy. Everything is very easy before getting having children. अगर you feel कि हाँ stress है, but once you have children, the life a drastic change in the role will come once you become parent. Once you become a mother, once you become a father. So that is, you know, especially I've seen in females, there were cases of postpartum depression. Like once a mother gives birth to a child, there's this postpartum depression takes place, like depression after delivery. And there are various other life changes events which are there, which basically become as a source of stress. If a divorce or relationship breakup is there, that is one of the source of stress. If there is health or any type of physical illness or health is being compromised, that is a source of stress. If there is any accident or bereavement, that is a source of stress. The legal issue, arrest or imprisonment, these are some of the life changes. These are the some of the life changes events, यानी कि आपकी लाइफ में कुछ चेंजेस हो रहे हैं, ये एक कॉमन सोर्स ऑफ स्ट्रेस है, right? they this is, and every person experience these changes, these every you will experience, you must have experienced few of them, or you may experience few of them in your future. So these life changes are some of the common sources of stress. Next, we have emotional sources like the peer pressure, the conflicting culture, values, and beliefs, or coping with the uncertainty. Like you have a group of friends, those who are very rich. They are very rich. They are very well settled, and you don't know this, and you are not maybe you are not matching their expectations. So the continuous pressure from their side, that is a source of stress. The conflicting cultural values. You migrate to some foreign country, you go outside India, and though you will try to do your best so as to match their culture, to match their values and beliefs, but maybe you will not find yourself fitting over there. Like you may think that okay, these people they are much superior than me. This feeling आ जाती है ना कि वो जो locals हैं उनमें ये वाली feeling होती है ना, ये तो migrants हैं, ये तो expats हैं, ये तो migrants हैं, we are much superior than them. So this conflicting cultural, the values and beliefs and the culture which is prevailing in that country, or the values or the belief which these people are holding, they may not match the belief and values which you are basically carrying. So once you migrate to some place or in your own country also, so these things become a bit emotional. These things lead to a bit of emotional problem in you. Next, we have coping with uncertainty, like COVID is a very good example of it. Now you don't know how to come out with this uncertainty. This is something new. This is a novel situation. So this is another source of stress. We have physical sources, like if there is late nights or lack of routine, if you have certain jobs basically in which you need to do late night hours, job is there, or you have no proper routine is not there, the diet is not proper, or there is excessive intake of alcohol or drugs. So these are some of the physical sources of stress. We also have environmental sources of stress, like the housing or accommodation problem, or social isolation, or unemployment, or adjusting to new environments such as moving house or travel, or certain financial pressures. These are some of the environmental sources. And we have changes at work, like if we are starting a new job, or if we are coping with an increased workload or a promotion, or there is certain poor relationship with colleagues or managers, or there is redundancy or the fear of it. So basically these are the common sources जो आपको हर तरफ, you are surrounded by these sources. Everyone, they have certain changes in their life. They are living in an environment. Some are working at their home, some are working at their jobs, some are basically they are encountering new people. Students are going to schools, students are going to colleges, they are being exposed to certain peers, people are going out of the country for the jobs, so they are being exposed to conflicting cultural values and beliefs. People are the diet thing is so drastically deteriorated now. हम लोग बस क्या करते हैं ना, भूख लगी, प्रॉपर खाना नहीं खा रहे हैं, बस चिप्स का पैकेट ले लिया, चॉकलेट ले ली, ये सब कर लिया. So this poor diet, this is again a major source of stress. We don't know, we don't realize it, but they ultimately increases the level of cortisol, और cortisol बढ़ रहा है आपका, तो फिर आपकी बॉडी का मैकेनिज्म बिगड़ रहा है. Okay, so these are some of the sources. There are many more. I've just enlisted few of them. There are many more. So you need to address these sources. You need to basically address your stress. How you can address your stress? You can address your stress once you know how to get out of these sources. Another major source of stress is social media. You all will agree to it that social media, it has, you know, drastically affected your health. एंड ना हाँ, अब तो हम रिसेंट कुछ स्टडीज आ रही हैं जिसमें हम सोशल मीडिया का बेनिफिट भी बता रहे हैं. नो डाउट वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ पॉजिटिव पॉइंट्स. थैंक्स टू सोशल मीडिया वी आर वर्चुअली connected right now. But there are, you know, there are various there are certain things, the social media, which is negatively impacting your health. In fact, the study was conducted by Penn Medicine Chester County Hospital in UK, in which it shows that frequent Facebook users, they tend to have worse mental health than less frequent or non-users. This Facebook, you all must be aware of this. So Facebook, जो लोग बहुत frequent users थे, उनके अंदर mental health बहुत बुरी तरीके से compromised थी. They were worse as compared to less frequent or non-users. Because you know, once you use Facebook or Instagram और ये सारी जो social apps जब आप use करते हैं ना, तो ultimately एक ये होता है, some of the people are there only posting the goody things of their life. They are not posting the sad part of the life. So you start comparing yourself with them. तो एक ये self conflict आ जाता है. Yourself and the self which they are portraying, you think like everything good is happening in their life, why not me? And there are many other reasons why Facebook users or social media, they worsen up your mental health. It also showed that social media users who have had negative interaction on sites have been shown to have higher levels of depression. So if we also see there are certain cyber crimes also which are being taking place because of social media, and people start chatting with one another, or they start interacting with others, with unknown people, and usually they end up in increasing the level of depression because they may be dished by them, or they may be humiliated by them, or some of the other reason which has shown to increase the level of depression. Further, it has shown, this study also revealed another interesting finding, that people who use 7 or more social media sites are 3 times as likely to suffer from anxiety compared to those who use 2 or fewer. Now just count, check yourself and count. अपने फोन में देखिए कि कितनी सोशल मीडिया साइट्स है. फेसबुक होगा, इंस्टा होगा, टेलीग्राम होगा, व्हाट्सएप होगा, यूट्यूब होगा, और क्या क्या है, ट्विटर होगा. जस्ट हैव अ लुक एट इट. ओके, ये तो बहुत कॉमन वाली. इनके अलावा भी स्नैपचैट एंड देयर आर मेनी मोर. So this study also gave this, very interesting thing was like revealed, like people those who were using 7 or more social media sites, they were 3 times as likely to suffer from anxiety as compared to people those who were using 2 or less. So this is how social media is impacting your health. Social media is another major, so this shows that yes, social media is another major source of stress. Okay, now the interesting part now comes now, like how to unplug yourself, how you basically you can de-stress yourself, or how you can get rid of these sources. क्या करना चाहिए, क्या टेक्निक यूज करनी चाहिए, कैसे हम लोग को अपने लाइफ में चेंजेस लाने चाहिए, which will help you to unplug yourself. Because I told you now, everything will be fine, everything. All you need to do is just take a break, just unplug yourself. So see, I'll be telling you about certain stress management techniques in this in the coming lecture, and I'll be telling like how you can unplug and from where you need to unplug. First thing is, you need to change up the blame game. Okay, you need to change it. So, like what happened? This is a common thing which we all do. We start blaming others. हमारी लाइफ में कुछ भी हो रहा है, कुछ भी गलत हो रहा है, whatever we are doing, and we start blaming others, like it's not I'm not responsible. So be accountable to your action, take the responsibility, change up the blame game. It's not they, maybe you are responsible, but make sure, या एक बॉर्डर लाइन होती है. ये नहीं करना है कि आपने कुछ ना भी किया हो तो अपने आप को आप रिस्पॉन्सिबल समझने लगो, तो गड़बड़ हो जाए ना. You need to basically be accountable for your actions. Like you have to see, okay, this is what was, you just need to do a basically root cause analysis of everything. You need to just see the stuff, and if you are accountable for the action, take the responsibility. Take the responsibility, and just remember that yes, responsibility starts with me. So take the responsibility for your response to stress. Like what happened, you think that no, कोई भी stressful situation आएगी and you will be like, no, I'm not responsible for it, maybe she will do it, or maybe वो कर लेगा, I'm not the person who's accountable for it, they will manage the situation. No, if you will think they will manage the situation, you will not be able to overcome the stress. कोई टीचर से या किसी से कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुई, and the teacher is calling you, and she is basically asking for the justification. So what we usually do, we will not receive the call. We will be like नहीं हो जाएगा, or we will basically मैम उसने करा था, मैम उसने किया था, वो take the responsibility. Just try it once. If you will say yes ma'am, I am responsible for it, and I will somehow try to manage it, you will see the change. Stress level automatically कम हो जाना है. अगर आपने responsibility नहीं ली, if you think you're not accountable for it, if you start blaming others, then you will experience more stress as compared to taking the responsibility. So be accountable for your actions. You have the power to change it. So how you can basically practice accountability? Catch yourself. Just try to see what basically what you are responsible for, how you have done this job, or basically try to analyze like what was needed from you and what you did. So try to catch yourself. Try to see what you have done and what you should have done, or what should you have not done. So how you will catch yourself? You will catch yourself by seeing it from above. Just look at the situation as a third person. Whatever activity has taken place, whatever blunder you have committed, just look at it as a third person. Okay. When you will see it from above, then you will you will be able to do a proper justification to it. You will be able to understand your role. You will be able to own up. And once you will understand your role, once you will be able to own up, once you will make yourself accountable for the action you have done, life will be easy for you. Trust me, it will be comparatively more easy as compared to if you will keep on blaming others for it. तुम्हारी लाइफ में कुछ भी बुरा हो रहा है, कोई नहीं मिलता है, तो अल्लाह मियाँ मेरे साथ यही करते हैं, है ना, आपने ऊपर वालों को ब्लेम कर दिया. No, just try to just try to analyze it, where you were wrong, what went wrong, or what you should have done to improve the situation. So change up the blame game. Be accountable. Just you have the power. You have the power to change it. So just accept it. Next we have unplug yourself from unhelpful thinking style. You know, there are certain thinking styles which we basically use. There are certain ways. There are certain thinking whatever हमारे पास कोई भी सिचुएशन आएगी, हम उस सिचुएशन को डील करने के लिए कोई थिंकिंग पैटर्न यूज करते हैं. ओके, इट्स लाइक हाउ वी आर कमिंग टू अ कंक्लूजन. Maybe we are emotionally dealing with a problem. So these over here in this picture of in this thing, you can see these are certain cognitive distortions which we in psychology we call it as cognitive distortion. We use such thinking pattern. We basically, whenever we encounter any stressful situation, we use these labeling, we use these thinking patterns. For example, let me tell you an example of emotional reason. Emotional reasoning is like you assume that because we feel a certain way that we think must be true. अगर हमें लग रहा है कि भाई हाँ उसने मेरे साथ गलत करा है, तो it's like we are convinced with the fact that the person has done something wrong with us. We are emotionally dealing with the issue. We may overgeneralize the problem. Like we see every single event, or basically everything we just associate it with छोटी सी छोटी बात को हम ये समझते हैं कि नहीं ये इसकी वजह से हुआ है, या एक कुछ बड़े इवेंट से हम लोग उसे एसोसिएट करते हैं. वी ओवर जनरलाइज. We basically we draw the conclusion on the basis of our past experiences. We assign label to ourselves like, okay, I'm stupid, or I am hopeless, or I am someone who is useless. So we are, this is the way how we are thinking about ourselves, or we are jumping to the conclusion like, अभी अभी देखो भाई, ऐसे मेरे marks कम आ रहे हैं, I'm sure I'm going to fail in this semester. We are jumping to the conclusion. And if we keep on thinking, if we use these type of thinking styles, then definitely we will end up with the same thought which is there in our negative thought which is there in our mind. There's another way which is mental filtering. We only pay attention to certain types of evidence that are negative in our life. सिर्फ हम बुरी चीजों को फोकस कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ लाइफ में जो बुरा हो रहा है उसी को हम फिल्टर करके ना, वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन दोस थिंग्स, like I am a failure, everything bad is happening, my job is not working properly, my family life is not going on well, my children are not giving me attention, I am a failure, it's all because of me. I'm not looking at the brighter side of the, the coin. We are just looking at the negative or the darker side of. Another way is like should or must thinking style. This is another way. We are like, everyone should love me, everyone must love me. ये जो should और must वाला आ जाता है ना, I must, like it's the thing, I must top in the class. Like why? ठीक है, it's not necessary. Why you should always top in the class? You can be on the second position as well. All you need to do, you need to give your best to it. Why everyone should love you? कोई आपको क्यों नहीं डांट सकता है? Why what's there? Like, it's like, okay, if they are not being concerned of you so much, it's okay. It's why ये should और must जहाँ आ जाता है ना, ये वाली चीजें प्रॉब्लमाइज हो जाने लगती. Personalization. You start blaming yourself, or you start taking responsibility जो कि आपने किया भी नहीं है उसके लिए भी. Somebody else have done that thing, but you think नहीं यार ये तो मेरी वजह से हुआ है. I am the person who is responsible. Or you, another thinking style is all or nothing thinking, like it's black or white. या फिर मैं पास टॉप करूंगा या फिर मैं फेल हो जाऊंगा, बीच का कोई पार्ट नहीं है. No, there should be, there should be something in between also. Why this or that? Why not something in between? So these are some of the unhelpful thinking style. You need to unplug yourself from this unhelpful thinking style. So for unplugging yourself from the unhelpful thinking style, we basically ask the client, we do this therapy. We basically, ABC model is a therapy, ABCD, basically the technique which in cognitive behavior therapy, we do this technique on a client. So what is ABCD? A is like whatever adversity is happening, B is like what is your belief, and C is the consequence. Like for example, there is a negative event which takes place in your life. That is the adversity. That is the situation जो आपकी हुआ आपकी life में. जैसे you can see in the example, इसमें these girls, they didn't get selected for the choir. Okay, they practiced a lot. They were good singers, but they didn't get selected for the choir. Now, what was their belief? This adverse situation led to the belief that I have a terrible voice. I'm never going to be a good singer. See, ये ओवर जनरलाइजेशन हो रही, छोटी की बात को उन्होंने बड़ा कर लिया, ठीक है. या फिर आपने दूसरा थिंकिंग पैटर्न इसमें अभी पर्सनलाइजेशन हो जाता है, लाइक I'm bad at it. I'm not good at it. It's because of me only why I not got selected in the choir. Now, ultimately, what is the consequence? The consequences is that there is a feeling of sadness, and these girls, they may give up practicing on singing. So another example of it you can see is like, this is the extended model. Like there is an activating event, the belief, the consequence, and how you should dispute it. आपको कैसे इसे रोकना है? This is how I'm going to tell you. Like the activity event is, for example, the son returns home and goes to the room without speaking. Okay, son आया घर पे, he returned home, he goes to his room without speaking. This is an activating event. Now, अब मम्मा बैठी हुई देख रही है. Now the belief will be like my son is very rude. And this thing may lead to the thought like he is ungrateful and he is discourteous, and like how can he be like this? I have done so much for him. ये सारी belief, ये thoughts आपके तरह आने लग जाएंगे दिमाग में. and the consequences will be like this thought may result in a feeling of aggression, and the consequences will be like you may have an argument with yourself. And if we apply this case in a husband-wife relationship, if a husband comes back from home, from job and goes back, the wife may start thinking he maybe he's having an extramarital affair, or what's wrong, why he's not giving attention to me. So such negative thoughts may start popping up, and the consequences, they may end up arguing with each other. Now, and the consequence is this, and the effect is like they both may withdraw from each other, or the relationship affect hoga. Now what you need to do is, like as an activating event occurs, a thought pops up, you need to stop this thought. आप अगर यहीं पे रुक जाएंगे, अगर आपने अपने आप को यहीं पे रोक लेना है, अगर आपका थॉट यहीं पे रोक दिया, if you stop yourself at this point, if you dispute this thought, then ultimately the consequence will change, right? The effect will be different. If you dispute it, you will be like, okay, am I jumping to conclusion, or there may be any other possible alternative for it? Maybe my son has gone to his room because you maybe he was occupied with some other thought, or maybe he had an argument with his boss, or maybe my husband is very tired, that is why he want to take rest, that is why he never talked to me and he went to the room. So you need to give alternative, alternative thoughts to the alternative explanation to those thoughts. So once you give an alternative explanation to those thoughts, the consequences will be different. And once the consequences are different, obviously the effect will be different. So you see how you can basically challenge your thoughts, how you can challenge your beliefs, how you can challenge, how you can basically dispute them, how you can say ki nahi abhi this is something which is wrong, and I need to take a break, and I need to re-question it, like whatever I'm thinking, is it correct or not? So this is one of the technique which we do with our clients, like we challenge the thoughts, we challenge the beliefs, we challenge the what's coming up in their mind, and ultimately they only come up with the answer like, yes ma'am, maybe this was the reason. And when we further proceed the therapy, they are proven correct, yes, that was the reason. We need to come up with alternate positive explanation to the thought which is coming in. Another technique is thought stopping. This thought stopping technique, it helps to break the cognitive distortion cycle then and get you back on the track. Okay, so what you need to do is, you need to notice your thought, you need to use a trigger word to stop the thought, and you need to replace that trigger word, that unhelpful thought, with the positive thought. Like in the previous chart, I showed you how what negative thoughts were coming. So apart from giving the positive, apart from this thing, you can, what quickly you can do is just say stop, or you can pinch yourself. Or at times, this technique we often use with our clients, those who are suffering from obsessive compulsive disorder, because they are unable to control the continuous thoughts which are popping up in their mind. So we ask them to wear a rubber band in their hand and to pull the band and to leave it. तो उनको क्या होता है ना, उसकी वजह से उनको हाथ में चोट लगती है. So once they get hurt, it's like yes, they are able to overcome the chain of thought which is there, that gets break. So this mental technique is another thought stopping technique. Next we have the change the attitude. We need to find other ways to think about stressful situation. We need to just do a bit of analysis to say, okay, this is a stressful situation. What can be the alternative way of dealing with it? And यूजुअली हम नहीं करते हैं ये. हमारे पास स्ट्रेसफुल सिचुएशन आती है, हम बेसिकली उसी में एकदम खो जाते हैं और उसी तरीके से रिएक्ट करते हैं. आई नो इट्स डिफिकल्ट, बट लाइफ इज 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. अगर कुछ बुरा हो गया, सपोज आपकी जॉब चली गई, यू कैन नॉट चेंज इट, है ना, यू कैन नॉट गेट बैक योर जॉब, नहीं ला सकते, आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते. दिस इज द 10% जो कि हो चुका है आपके साथ, बट 90% इज देयर इन योर हैंड. 90% is how you are going to react to it. Whether you will be depressed, भर जाना है, रोना धोना है, या उस टाइम को पॉजिटिवली या इफेक्टिवली यूटिलाइज करेंगे, नई जॉब सर्च करेंगे, नया ऑल्टरनेटिव सोचेंगे, कुछ अच्छा करेंगे. टॉक टू योर सेल्फ पॉजिटिवली. जस्ट रिमेंबर, कीप ऑन सेइंग दिस थिंग, आई कैन हैंडल इट, this will be over soon, or I have handled difficult things before and I can do it again. So just try to talk to yourself positively, use these positive statements. You can try this thing from today onwards. Whenever things are going bad in your life, कुछ अपनी लाइफ में पॉजिटिव स्टेटमेंट्स का यूजेज करना बढ़ा दीजिए. आप देखेंगे things will start getting better. Practice acceptance. We need to learn to accept things we cannot change without trying to exert more control over them. So we need to practice this acceptance. We need to practice how we need to practice it कि कुछ चीजें हैं जो हमारे हाथ में नहीं है. They are beyond our control. So what I need to do is accept it. And just remember this phrase, like life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. So, a big, big, big portion lies in your hand, how you're going to react to that situation. Positive self statements. I previously told you that positive statements are very, very effective way of coming out of stress. So introduce repeated positive and motivating statement into your day and in reaction to your thoughts. So like, just keep on motivating yourself by saying, I'm smart, I work hard, I always do my best. Just pat your shoulder. कुछ अच्छा काम करो ना, कुछ भी अच्छा, कोई भी एक सोल्यूशन कर लो, या कुछ भी एक छोटी सी डिस्कवरी कर लो, या कुछ भी, whatever, एक पेपर लिख लो, whatever thing you are doing, just pat your shoulder and say, I'm smart, I work hard, I always do my best. These positive statements, they will boost you up. They will motivate you to do something more. Now, if you say ki if you basically say I've never done it before, like this is a negative self talk. If you say, if your boss give you something new, he gave you a new paper to write, like, come on, you need to write a paper, need to get it in a scope, published in a Web of Sciences or Scopus in this journal. So your reaction will be like, I've never done it before, how will I be able to do it? No, replace this negative self talk with, wow, it's an opportunity to learn something new. Now I will definitely do it. And you will see the change. अगर आपने स्टार्ट ही इसी से कर लिया ना, यार मुझे तो नहीं आता, मुझसे तो नहीं हो पाएगा, तो वहीं पे आपने एक बैरियर लगा दिया. But if your thinking is like, it's an opportunity to learn something new and I will definitely do it, I think I will be able to do it, you will be able to, I'm sure you'll be able to write a paper. It will be maybe पहले अटेम्प्ट में इतना अच्छा नहीं होगा, मे बी एक जर्नल नहीं पब्लिश करेगी, मे बी कम इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर वाला पब्लिश करेगी, बट अल्टीमेटली यू विल गेट इट पब्लिश्ड. Just try to use this positive thinking. Just try to use these positive statements. Like, you can see example of positive thought replacement. Instead of saying I need to be perfect or I fail, you replace it with I did a great job learning this new curriculum. You have your exam in this next hour after my session, after the break. I was going to the schedule, you people have this exam. So start with this positive note that yes, you are smart enough and you have learned a lot during this 5 days FTP, and you will do a great job, and ultimately देखना कुछ ना कुछ तो अच्छा कर ही लेंगे आप. So try to replace the negative thoughts with the positive one. Once you will do this replacement, stress level will ultimately start decreasing. Next, you need to see, very important thing, you need to understand the role of control. Role of control in stress reduction is, there is a lot of role of control. Like, you need to focus on things which are in your control, and you need to put aside things which are out of your control. For example, your ability to prioritize work and your personal obligation. These are the things which are in your control. Your reaction to events and people, your thoughts, you're focusing on you may often you must have heard people saying कि ये मेरा दिल तो कर रहा है पर लोग क्या कहेंगे, what people will say, how they will react to this thing. अरे leave people. It's, if you want to do particular thing, go for it. If you think this will be good for you, go for it. Don't be much concerned about these log. ये लोग, they are just concerned with saying इनका काम है कहना. So बस, just don't be concerned, because this is the thing which is in your control. See, you you if you the reaction of other people is not in your control, but your reaction to events and people is in your control. Like how you are reacting to the reaction, that is in your control. वो बुरा मान रहा है, मानने दो उन्हें बुरा, तुम्हें उससे क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है? Why you are being concerned with? So your reaction to those people or to those events, if that is in your control, so basically you should focus on that. Once you focus on the area which are in your control, na, you will feel empowered, you will feel relief. एक बार करके देखो, let people go, let them think what they are doing. Prioritize your personal. Yes, if you need to say no for particular thing, job hours में, घर की family hours में. So basically just try to focus on the things which are in your control. So put aside what is out of your control. Like for example, certain things are there which are not in your control, like how people respond to you. I've explained this thing, how they're responding to you, that is not in your control. So just forget about it. Just forget how they're responding to you. How people respond to others people feeling, that is also not in your belief. So just forget about it. Okay. Further, if you will put this thing aside, then you will be feeling more, the feeling of hopelessness, the feeling of anxiousness, or the feeling of being stressed out will be comparatively less. Unplug from social media. If you remember the study which I told you, like social media is one of the major cause of, it's one of the major cause of stress. I reported a study in which you saw that if people, those who were using seven applications, they were having stress level more as compared to people, those who were using two or less than two applications. So how you will unplug yourself from social media? Because social media need हो गई है हमारी. We are, we are tangled in it. It become very difficult for us. हम लोग उलझ गए उसी में. हम लोग के, सॉरी, हमारे लिए बहुत मुश्किल है कि हम उस चीज से बाहर निकल पाए. तो आपको थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ेगी इसके लिए. Here I am here with a few tips like how you can unplug yourself from social media. You need to keep your phone away from your bedroom. I know it's a big and a difficult task, but you need to keep your phone. You may say, मैम मैं तो अलार्म लगाती हूँ फोन में, मैं कैसे अपने बेडरूम से बाहर लग गई? No, go out and buy an alarm clock. पहले हम लोग अलार्म क्लॉक ही का यूज करते थे. Now we are using phone, but पहले I remember there was this इसी स्टाइल की एक अलार्म क्लॉक थी हमारे. So keep your phone away from your bedroom, buy an alarm clock, and just remember, if you will not keep your phone away from your bedroom, you will be compelled to use it again and again. Usually what we end up हम सोते टाइम अपना फोन अपनी तकिया के नीचे रख लेते हैं. We are like, we go to bed, we take a phone, चलो थोड़ा सा फेसबुक देख लेते हैं, चलो थोड़ा सा ये कर लेते हैं, इंस्टाग्राम देख लेते हैं, मेल्स चेक कर लेते हैं, थोड़ा सा यूट्यूब देख लेते हैं, लेट इट बी अकेडमिक्स, थोड़ा सा कोई लेक्चर ही देख लेते हैं. नो, नॉट when you are in your bed, not when you are in your bed. Your bed is only meant for sleeping. So keep your phone away from your bedroom. If you say that you need to put an alarm on it, then yes, buy an alarm clock. This is a tip, and it works. I've been trying these tips, so these tips work. Delete the apps, delete the app. वो जो 7 apps है ना, उनको delete करके 2 में आ जाओ, ताकि आपका थोड़ा stress level भी उससे कम हो जाए. And once you delete the app, I know it is beneficial. I've seen my clients just keep 1 or 2 apps. Just keep as many apps you are using, the more time you are giving to it, the more time you are giving to it, the more you are exposing yourself to the stress. Turn off the notification. What we do, we have certain notification, we have put our notification on of every app, and every now and then हमारा phone ping bajta ही रहता है. Every now we get this tone like the phone is being the sometimes messages, sometimes Facebook, sometimes Insta, sometimes mails, or sometimes calls. कभी boredom हो रही है, कभी WhatsApp call हो रही है. Every time the phone is ringing. So just try to turn off the notification. There's a joke also which I often tell people while delivering this lecture. We are so into this notification thing. Like I came about this. WhatsApp forwarded message एक था जिसमें था कि while we are offering namaz, we quickly when we are done with it जल्दी से दुआ मांगी फिर फौरन फोन उठा के हम अपना चेक करने लगते हैं. So we think कि ऐसा it seems ऐसा लगता है कि अल्लाह ताला ने मैसेज कर दिया कि हाँ दुआ कबूल हो गई. It's because of the notification, because while you are offering namaz the notification हो ही रहा है, बज ही रहा है आपका फोन. So this thing distract you, and once you are done with your namaz you go and check your phone. So try to turn off the notification. Have some handy books. Just keep your try to usage of phone कम करने के लिए handy books रखिए. There are certain books. There are very good books. Some of them by Dalai Lama is there. There is a book called Art of Relaxation. There is a book Man Searching for Meaning in Life by Viktor Frankl. There are many books. There are many छोटी कोई story books ले लीजिए आप किसी अच्छी उनकी authors key, and go for those books. So, and reading is a very very beautiful habit, and you can see the change once you are into reading. एक बार ये habit develop हो गई ना, you will enjoy it a lot. So have handy books, reduce the number of application. कुछ ही applications अपने phone में रखिए. Allot 1 hour to your day to respond to the email. Only 1 hour. बस उसी एक घंटे में आपने 1 hour भी बहुत, मैं आपसे कह रही हूँ, but mails हुआ, messages हुआ, that is being included. All of these things are included. So only allow 1 hour to your day to respond to your email. So yes, it will be difficult for you to bring these things or to make these things as a habit. So here are some helpful tips which may help you in making it as a habit. You can start this thing. You can start substituting your social media use with reading or any other form of entertainment. Like आजकल we are seeing children, बच्चों को बहुत शौक हो रहा है फोन का, and that is adversely affecting them. That is one of the major cause of various mental health issues. Their speech is delayed, their social interaction is delayed, their attention concentration power is being delayed. Everything is because of this social media. So what you need to do is you need to substitute it. And your best way of substituting it is with reading or any other form of entertainment. एंड देखिए एकदम से आप कर देंगे तो नहीं पॉसिबल है. अगर आपको किसी भी चीज को हैबिट बनाना है, यू नीड टू डू इट slowly and gradually. So what you can do is you can do this for 1 hour every day for a week. Initially start with 1 hour every day. So 1 hour के लिए आपको अपना फोन को सब्स्टिट्यूट कर देना है, एकदम गायब कर देना है. One for 1 hour. We started with 1 hour. Next week, prolong a break for 2 hours. Keep on adding until you disconnect from social media completely or you are happy about the results. So to put down a habit and to substitute it with other activity, best way is to do it on the same time. Like usually we recommend our clients to go to put down the social media from 3 to 5 or from if they are sleeping in the evening, then we advise them to take out to put down social media from 5 to 7. So basically what you need to do it, you need to do to make, in order to make it as an habit, you need to gradually and slowly proceed with it. There are another 4 A's rule of life. Once you basically get adapted to these rules, you will help yourself in getting out of stress. The first one is avoid. Take control of your surrounding. Avoid people those who bother you. Learn to say no and ditch part of your list. So basically, just avoid those things which are not liked by you, which are of no use, which basically bring stress to you, which are beyond your control. So just try to avoid such people or such things. Second is alter. Respectfully ask other to change their behavior. If anything is, if you cannot basically, if it's not in your control, so you can respectfully ask them to change their behavior. Try to communicate your feeling openly. Don't be hypocrite. What's there in your mind? Just try to communicate it openly. Manage your time better, set priorities, and work hard, and state limits in advance and just rehearse the success. Next, try to accept your fault, try to talk with someone, try to forgive others, practice self positive talk, try to learn from your mistakes. So try to accept your shortcomings and others shortcomings as well. Further, the last A is adapt. Adjust your standards, practice stopping, reframe the issues, adopt a mantra, and create an asset column. Look at the bigger picture of your life and choose the right technique. Okay, so if you follow these four A's rule in your life, then things will be better. There are certain the diet also, as I told you, diet also play an important role. So five everyday food that will stress you out, you can see that there are uh, uh, certain food which basically increases the stress level. So stress can lead to weight gain, it leads to high blood pressure, and it leads to lower productivity. So you have to control over what to eat regardless of what is happening around. So just step away from coffee, lay off the salt, avoid the vending machine, kick the fried food habit out, and cut back on the booze. So basically, once you are out of these five things, you will see that ultimately some or the other reduction in stress will be there. Yes, laughter is, is a it's one of the very easy therapy in order to get out of stress. The stress release from laughter is not a joke, it is there. Stress is released when humor is there. So when you start to laugh, it's not only lessen your load mentally, but it actually, it induces physical changes in your body. It stimulates many organs. It activate and release your stress response. It soothes your tension. It improves your immune system. It relieves pain. It increases personal satisfaction, and it improves your mood. So you see, agar if you people manage to go out on a walk, so I in Lakvi Park, I've seen a group of oldies. They do this laughter therapy. They stand in a circle and they laugh. They laugh. They just laugh without any reason. Earlier, I used to wonder, like, what the hell they are doing. But now I realize, yes, laughter is a way, it's a very effective tool in which can reduce your stress. Find a support system. It's very important to have a good support system. It's very important to have people in front of whom you can vent out your feelings. So speak to your friends, to your family, to your teachers, or to a minister, or to a counselor if you don't have anyone, or if you cannot vent out in front of other people, go for a mental health professional. We are here for your service only. Try to contact them, try to vent it out. Sometimes, just by venting it out, you must have feel it. कभी आप अपनी ना घर की भड़ास निकाल दो, एक हल्कापन सा महसूस होता है. So express your feeling. Expressing your feeling can be relieving. We can feel supported by others, and it can help us work out our problems as well. So just say it, let it out, let it go. Once you let it go, how you will let it go? Once you have a support system. If you have a support system, good support system, then things will be much easier. Then take break and give yourself a me time. In this hectic schedule, we are not giving time to ourselves. It's very important to give ourselves priority. Learn that taking time to yourself for relaxation is just as important as you are giving time to other activities. तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आप अपनी जॉब पर जा रहे हो, आप अपने बच्चे को देख रहे हो, आप अपने घर का काम कर रहे हो. सो इसी तरीके से 1 घंटा आपको अपने लिए भी निकालना है. तो take out short breaks during your busy life and just schedule these time. एक प्लानर सा बनाइए जिसमें आप यू शुड गिव सम टाइम फॉर योर सेल्फ इन ऑर्डर टू रिचार्ज योर सेल्फ. आप लोग की मशीनरी में करने के लिए ग्रीसिंग ग्रीसिंग करनी होती होगी ना, कुछ तो करना होता होगा उसको वापस सही करने के लिए. यू ऑल्सो लाइक ह्यूमन बींग्स, दे ऑल्सो नीड टू रिचार्ज देम सेल्फ. They need to get themselves back to the normal. Learn your red flags for stress. Learn, अगर आपने जैसे मैंने जो symptoms बताया, कुछ you are noticing those symptoms, they are the red flags. It means you are stressed out, and you need to take out some time and do something for yourself also. Learn to say no, very important, because it's very always remember that self-care is not being selfish. So learn to pick and choose which things you will say yes to and which things you will say no to. So protect yourself by not allowing yourself to take on every request or opportunity that comes your way. हर चीज को नहीं ले लेना है, हर चीज के लिए हाँ नहीं बोल देना है, कभी कभी ना बोलना भी सीखो, because saying no is also very important. Saying no does not mean that you are bad or you're self-centered or you're not caring. No, it means that you are concerned for yourself also. So learn skills of assertiveness so that you can feel confident and effective way of saying no. Physical exercise. Physical exercise is also very important. It helps in releasing the symptoms of depression and stress. It helps you in maintaining your health, and exercises can build up the confidence level also, the self-esteem, the self-image, and it's also a great way to take time for yourself to blow off the steam and release physical tension. So go for physical exercises. रूटीन बना लीजिए कि सुबह में मॉर्निंग वॉक पे जाना है, or any of the minor physical exercises. Make it as a routine. Make it as a habit. And I've already told you like how you can take things into bring things into your habit. And we can meditation is another very important way in releasing the stress. If you there are many, meditation is basically a way in which uh, you can you can basically be at peace for a very longer duration of time. It increases your age range, it improves your memory, it makes you more creative, it increases your anxiety. You can decrease in reducing your cigarette. We have seen, studies have reported that if people are indulged into proper meditation, they are able to quit the cigarette. It helps you to feel less lonely. It basically helps you in dealing up with emotional problem or dealing up with any mental health conditions, and it may improve you academically also, because it is increasing your concentration and memory. So it will help you to get better grades. So here are few of the apps which are there online. These are free apps. You can just have a look. You can download them, and you can basically, with the help of this, you can do meditation on your own. You can see this is complete relaxation light. This is guided meditation for anxiety. The second app is the mindfulness app. It will basically come up with certain techniques which will help you in being more mindful. Next, we have Calm, Meditate, Sleep, and Relax. And Om Baba is another app which basically helps you and it will help you to relax yourself. So these are certain free apps which are available on your Play Store. You can just download them on your mobile phone and you can use them frequently. Further, this I just want to say that you need to care yourself. Just consider yourself as a seed, okay, and care yourself like a plant. If you will consider care yourself as you care for the plant, you will you will feel the difference. So just few अच्छी सी कुछ tips हैं जो कि मैं आपको ये बता रही हूँ. Always try to stay hydrated. Drink a lot of water. Nourish yourself with what your soil needs, the good things, the positivity. Let go of the things that no longer help you. Let it go off. Let the things go off. Try to get it out. Use support when you need it. And remember that life can cut you down, but you'll always grow back stronger. जैसे को पेड़ को काटते हैं ना अच्छा बनाने के लिए. So always remember this thing. Catch some daily sunshine. Expose डायरेक्ट नेचर से कांटेक्ट में आइए, ग्रीनरी से, सन से, इनसे कैच सम डेली सनशाइन, गिव योरसेल्फ स्पेस टू ग्रो एंड नो दैट नथिंग इज मेंट टू ब्लूम ऑल द टाइम. Some bad days will come. It will be followed by good ones. So not to worry for that. So these are some of the healthy tips which you can use. So okay, now is the time to relax. This is the finally, I'll be ending the session with this relaxation audio I'll be playing now. So, there are certain instructions which you need to follow before starting with it, like for if you are having any of the muscle tension or pain, or there is any muscle spasm or arthritis or any of the heart problem or blood pressure problem, then this relaxation may not be that appropriate, and basically uh, you need to be these issues may cause a bit of hindrance, because right now you're not in contact with me. Generally, when therapists and we give this relaxation technique to people, usually they are in front of us. So if you are having such issues, so just try to avoid it. And yes, and also please just read the following instruction. Do not drive or operate machinery immediately following this relaxation. Do not practice relaxation while driving or doing any other activity that requires your concentration. Do not practice relaxation on a full stomach. Do not cross your arms and legs. And never practice relaxation to treat or cure undiagnosed symptoms. Always see your doctor for an accurate diagnosis. And if you are having any uncomfortable symptoms during this relaxation, discuss this with your doctor. Do not stand up immediately after practicing this. Stay seated or lying down for a few minutes with your eyes open and then get up. So now what you need to do is you just need to lie down. You just need to close your eyes, or when if you are sitting, then sit in a relaxed manner. Take out your shoes. Make sure that your clothes are loosened up. Bring your foot in contact with the ground and just listen to this audio. Okay.
I'm going to lead you through some of the major muscle groups of the body, asking you to contract and relax them one by one. Tensing and relaxing muscles can help induce a feeling of physical relaxation, which may also help you feel mentally relaxed. As you carry out these exercises, you will experience sensations in the muscles. These sensations indicate tension you will learn to identify and release. This is a skill which enables you to relax yourself anytime you want to. The more practice, the easier it will become. We will start with breathing. Make yourself as comfortable as you can. Let your breathing settle down and observe its natural rhythm. Follow a natural breath out, making it a little longer than usual. The air in. Let it gently fill your lungs, slowly releasing your tensions with the take care of itself. Now we will focus on your arms. To focus attention on your arms, whether they are lying at your side, propped on the arm of the chair, or on your lap. With the hands placed palm downwards on a surface, chair arm, slowly tense your hands, stretching out your fingers. Do not force the movement, just put a moderate amount of effort into it. Now, as you hold the position, notice the tensions in your hands, the underside of your palms. Feel them build up. Tension go. Relax the muscles. Tension disappear. Disappearing as you give the hands time to get more relaxed. Notice how it feels when they are fully relaxed. Still with the arms, I want you to slowly tense up all the muscles so that the arms become rigid. Begin with a little tension in the fingertips. Let it grow till the fingers are spread wide. Then stretch out the arms, creating tension in the forearm and upper arm. till the arms are rigid like a rod. Tension along the arms, but don't overdo it. Down. Feel the muscles going slack, the arms becoming limp. Just the relief. Pleasant tingling, a sense of warmth. Let the arms go on relaxing a bit. Imagine the last remnant of tension to the fingertips. Just how the arm muscles feel when they're relaxed. And now we'll focus on your legs. Turning your attention to your legs, point your feet up towards your face, keeping the backs of the knees down. Position, and notice the sensations you're getting in the work muscles around the shin bones. As you let go of your leg muscles, feel the tension drain out of them. Continue draining out of them as your legs and feet continue to feel more relaxed. This time, to point your feet down. Don't overdo it, especially if you're prone to develop cramp. Now, as you hold the position, study the tension in your calves. Then relax. Let all the tension dissolve. Feel comfort returning to your lower legs. Just the sensations you get from relaxing the muscles. Continue letting go until you feel they won't any further. Now, whether you're sitting, raise your heels up in the air.
Record. Mute.
Feel
Start
tension
video.
in your calf muscles. Hold the action. Heels to the ground. Notice the relief, comfort, tingling sensation in your calves. Enjoyable feeling, relaxing your feet. Go on letting those feelings continue until your feet and calves are completely relaxed. A little further. This time, keep your heels down. Trace the front part of your feet as if you were going to tap a rhythm. Keep your toes up in the air whilst you pay attention to the tense sensation in the muscles around the shin bones. Relax. Let the feet fall down. Notice the relief in the shin area. Feel the tension leaving you, draining out of your feet, and continue to drain out through your toes. Let your attention focus on your toes. Sitting, toes down, restricting the action to the toes themselves. Some people can do it more easily than others. Just do what you can. Tension in the sole of the foot and the calf of the leg. Let it go. Muscles go slack. Slacker as the tension disappears. Notice how the muscles feel when they're relaxed. Turn your attention to your breathing again. Notice its rhythm. It's 2 hands over your stomach. Just let the breathing take care of itself. Relaxation, tension. Focus next on the stomach muscles. As you breathe out, muscles in, tension under your ribs. Relax. Again, breathe out, the stomach muscles in, and relax. Let go of the tension, allowing muscles to spread themselves. A sense of complete relaxation. Let the relaxation become deeper as the moments pass. And now you're back. Moving to the upper region of the back, bring your attention to your blade bones behind your shoulders. Draw them back so they get much nearer to each other without putting too much effort into it. Gently squeeze together. Release the tension. Let the muscles soften. Back lines again, contact with the supporting surface. Notice the feeling of the relaxation. Continue on and on. Moving to the neck region, I'd like you to lift your shoulders. Hunch them up as if to touch your ears. Now, feel the tension in your lower neck. Feel the sensation and relax. The shoulders drop and go on dropping further as the tension ebbs away. Shoulders completely relax. Now the head. Chin in. Press back against the support, against the surface or back of the chair. Press it back. Now notice the feelings you get from the working muscles. Tension in the back of the neck and relax. Go to the area. Notice the sense of ease that floats into the area. Relaxation to deepen until all the tension has left your neck. Moving to the many muscles of the face. Raise your eyebrows. Raise them high. Now, feel the tension in the muscle that stretches across the brow. Tension flow out. Furrows being smoothed. Continue until there is no tension left in your body. Focus on your frowning muscle. Bring the eyebrows close together, with the skin between them to a deep frown. Now hold it a few moments, then relax. Release the tension. The eyebrows spread sideways. Imagine the space between them wide. Continue until all the tension dies away. We come to the eyes. First, I would like you to screw them up. Spend a moment feeling it. Let go. Let the muscles loosen. Notice the feeling you get from loosening them. The skin smoothing out. Next, without moving your head, turn your eyes upwards behind your closed lids. Now hold your gaze up for a few minutes. Notice the tension in the muscles. And bring your eyes back to a central position. Then look down as if towards your feet. Return to the center. Look to the right. And to the left. Hold it. And bring your eyes back to the front and relax. Let your eyes feel relaxed as they rest in a middle position. Notice how they feel. Compare this to how they felt when they were working. Let them go on relaxing. Bring your back teeth together. Do it firmly, actually clenching. Feel a sensation in your jaw as if you've been chewing. Hold it and relax. Release the jaw muscles. Tension fade. Continuing to fade. Still. Press your lips tightly together now. Lips pursed. Go. As I release, just the feeling as the blood flows back to your lips. Tune in to the feelings of relaxation. Finally, the tongue. Press your tongue against the roof of your mouth and hold it there. Tension in your tongue. Notice how it feels when you relax it. Press it against the inside of your right cheek. Against your left cheek. Back towards your throat. Not too strongly. Let your tongue settle and just touching the backs of your front teeth. Releasing tension. Let it go on relaxing. Enjoy the feeling of relaxation. Let that feeling spread throughout your mouth and over your face. Relax. Let it spread to cover your shoulders and hands, abdomen, and feet, so your entire body experiences relaxation and continue to relax. Now I would like you to scan your body and see if any tension has crept back in. So let the tension go. Continue to breathe slowly. Deeply breathe relaxation and tension. So I'm going to bring this session to an end. Gradually on the count of 3, to return to the here and now. To 3, to open your eyes and ready to carry on with the day. 2, before.
Okay. So this was a relaxation therapy, or this was a deep muscle relaxation exercise audio which I played over here. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much. And these are some of the references. And thanks for listening. So any question or discussion you want? Dr. Sidra, you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Are there any questions from the participants? Right now, I cannot see any question in the chat box, and it was really a very, very interesting session. And being, from a different background, I mean to say, not into the biology, we have been into a different stream altogether. We have realized that how our thoughts regulate us and what is the important role of cortisol. And you have shared many, many strategies on how to de-stress ourselves or how to unplug to de-stress. And some strategies might sound silly, like the laughter therapy, but I personally have felt it very, very effective. And participants, if you have any question, you can write it in the chat box. It was really a very interesting session, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Sidra.
Okay, I cannot see, ma'am, any questions in the chat box. So we would like to end this session.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sidra.
And ma'am, if you have time, I would like to invite you for our valedictory, which is scheduled at 3 o'clock today.
Yes, okay, Dr. Sidra. I'll join. I will join. I'll got your message.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. there is an announcement for the participants regarding the exam, that your exam is scheduled at 2 p.m. and it will be a MCQ type. Your details will be shared on the registered email ID, and as well as the link will be shared in the chat box of the meeting room. And after your attendance, we'll meet back again in the valedictory session scheduled at 3 o'clock. And I would request the participants to keep your camera on during the valedictory session. We'll be having a photo session. And you are please feel free to interact and give your feedback on this FTP. And I especially request our participants and among the participant students and industry personnel also to share their views. So that is all. We'll be meeting after the break. Catch in the in this room at around 2 p.m. for your exam. And post the exam and valedictory session, you will be having your attendance link being shared. So many of you are worried about the attendance, so please don't worry. It will be at the end of today's program. Somebody has written a question to Dr. Sara, but our expert has left the room. We can share.
Dr. Sidra, I am here. I'm
Okay,
here.
okay. Sorry, ma'am. Somebody has asked, ma'am, how to overcome from overthinking, especially at night. It makes night sleepless and morning exhaustive.
Okay, may I know the person name?
He's Ali.
Okay, Ali. 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 Why I asked the person's name? Because in our, it makes a person a bit more associated when I keep on taking his name. So
Yes.
yes, Ali, this is a very common problem which I've been noticing, that there is overthinking, especially at night. So as I have told you about the distraction technique, the techniques like stop one, the one which I told you, in which I asked you to, you can either pinch yourself, or you can either say stop in a loud voice, or you can wear a band. You can wear a rubber band in your hand. जो rubber band elastic वाला होता है ना Ali, try wearing that band in your hand. And when you know what happened, there is a chain of thoughts. One thought, it comes, then उसके बाद दूसरा आता है, फिर तीसरा आता है, आते रहते, chain of thought is formed, and we are unable to get out of this chain. So once you will pull that band and you will leave that band, you will get hurt. हाथ पे चोट सी लगेगी. And pain is the sensation which is strongest one. तो जब आपको पेन कि वो आपका ब्रेन जो उधर थॉट्स फॉर्मेशन में वो बिजी है, वो इधर डाइवर्ट होकर पेन सेंसेशन पे आएगा, and that chain of thought which was being formed will be broken. And once the chain is broken, you will be able to overcome that thought process which is taking place in your mind, and you can indulge yourself in any other activity, or you can start reading a book. I know in night, what you will say, what type of activity? You can just do a bit of brisk walking. You can listen to light music on high note, and with this, you will be able to overcome the repetitive thoughts or overthinking that takes place in night. Am I? Is it okay for you, Ali? Am I clear? Dr. Sidra,
I
hope
yes,
I
ma'am.
answered the query.
Yes, ma'am. I hope Ali, your query is answered. Yes, he has written a thanks to you, ma'am.
Okay, so that's all, I think so. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
ma'am. I think that's all. Nobody else has posted any comment. So thank you so much. Now we'll be having a lunch break. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Sidra. Now I'm leaving the meeting now. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.